Hi all and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well under this Labour government that seems determined to cast us all aside. Basically, this Labour government is the most duplicitous, corrupt government ever. Everyone's laughing at Starmers' popularity. It's like a sheer drop from +11 to -39. Like, no one's ever seen a drop like that of any Prime Minister in our history. Basically, the people know for what he is. So we come back to the tragic Southport incident where little girls attacked and murdered. And just about every human being in the UK thought, it's a terrorist incident. This guy's a terrorist. It's Islamic terrorism again. And then basically the police and the government have connived to keep the facts from us. Lo and behold, day before the budget, the first budget by a women chancellor. Yeah, the worst budget by any chancellor. 40 billion in taxes, and the majority you and I are going to pay for, one way or the other. Ridiculous. They just told us lies and lies and lies, haven't they? Like, working man's not going to pay more taxes. Says who? So this is a bit longer a video by me. So don't mind if you see me drinking my tea. #YorkshireGold. I'm a northerner. I love my brews. So right, back to Southport. So the day before the budget, they announced this guy's being charged with manufacture of ricin, and he'll be charged under the Terrorism Act for that. Also owning and downloading Al-Qaeda training manual. He'll be charged under the Terrorist Act for that. But the Chief of Merseyside Police said the incident that happened in Southport and the murders of the little girls is not a terrorist subject. What? Do they think we have some sort of horns and, like, live on the moon? You're charging him with 2 terrorist offences, but the murder of the little girl, you're not doing him under the Terrorism Act, just to fool the general public. What's going on? Why? Because if he's charged under the Terrorism Act, he's liable for stiffer sentencing. So who is instigating this? Is it Starmer? Is it the police? I bet you a bottom dollar it's Starmer. Because nobody else has ever done this. We've been told exactly what was going on with every other Terrorism Act. Like, they're trying to fool us, like, oh, he's a Christian, and like he was born in Wales, and like we'll put out pretty pictures of him as a little boy. He's a monster, a terrorist monster that we want out of this country. What do you think? Does anyone reasonably think this was not a terrorist act? Is the chief of police, Merseyside Police, sane or insane? Because I tell you what, if I was her, thank God I'm not, I'd be telling Starmer to stuff it. I'm telling the public exactly what they need to know. Because the public need to know what threat we're under. And it's massive. And it's going to get worse and worse. And it's going to blow up in Starmer's face. Cheers. So then we move on to the budget. What a farce that was. It was all about her. I'm the first Chancellor delivering a budget. Oh, she loved it. She was creaming her pants. So, a budget of all lies. 40 billion in tax rises. The farmers, they're up in arms. Basically, we need the farmers with us. They feed us. Why attack the farmers like there's some sort of rich people? Like, even if you watch Jeremy Clarkson, like, you can see, like, how he runs his farm. He'd never survive unless he had his personal fortune. You know, like, it's going to be massive landowners that profit out of this. It's all the WEF and World Economic Forum mentality. Apparently, 2 days before the budget, the CEO of BlackRock and Bill Gates were in to see Starmer. Is that a coincidence? I doubt it. So the Conservatives have elected a new leader. Cheers. Kemi Badenoch. I'll give her a due. She's a good orator. But her convictions are too far left of the centre to be any good for the Conservative Party or the Conservative members. And they'll soon find out, like, she's not Conservative. It's more of the same. So Nigel Farage is making hay and saying, like, well, those that voted for the other guy, come over here, you know, like, come to reform. And we'll do some proper Conservative government. And I can honestly see the next government after this one being a reform government, where even if it's a minority government. So why do I think it's too left of centre? Basically, I've seen clips of her going back to when she first started. She's not going to leave the European Court of Human Rights. She's not. She says they'll debate it, but what's debate? There's no debate to be had. It's either in or out. And like she could have gone with her start choice and says like we're leaving, but she hasn't. She has asked and promoted more immigration. She's a pro-immigration leader. And like the vast majorities of her policies are going to be left of centre. They're not even going to be centre. So the party members, Conservative Party members, surely they've got to know the Conservative Party is dead as it is. It's just full of woke, liberal lefties. So you're just going to get more and more and more of the same government until we change it. And it's down to you and I to change. You can't sit back in your chair and say, oh, this government's rubbish and like, oh, this is wrong and that's wrong. I was in a taxi the other day coming back from hospital and we were talking about politics and everything, what's wrong with the world. And this taxi driver chirps up, like he's mourning but I've never voted. Well, I'm sorry, you haven't got a voice. You've no right to mourn. If you don't vote, don't mourn. Because you've not given yourself a right to mourn. And say this is wrong, that's wrong. Get off your backsides and vote. This is why we're in this mess. Because people haven't voted. They just stay at home and say, oh, it's all going to be the same. Well, if you want it to change, you need to get out and vote. There's absolutely nothing stopping everybody voting. The next general election, I want to see a 70% turnout, not a 30%, like this government has got. Or else what you'll end up with something like SNP running this country. That'd be some major farce, won't it? They can't run a country of 5 million. How are they going to run a country of 70 million? So Labour and Conservative will never sort out the immigration problem. And that's the biggest problem we've got at the minute. To put this country back on its feet, we need to shed 10 million people. Mass deportations of illegals. I don't care where we put them. In the middle of Africa. Right. We'll come to an agreement with some country. We'll give them a couple of billion quid. Here, take 10 million illegals. Well, apparently nobody knows how many illegals there are in this country. So you can say well over 1 million roaming around in the black economy. So if we cut overall population by 10 million, we will come out with a health service that functions, that doesn't need more money. It can actually have money cut because it wastes that much money. The NHS wants sorting top to bottom. It's just a never-ending money pit. And throwing more money at it, like this Labour government, isn't going to cure it. We've done that forever and a day, throw money at it. It's a money pit. We've got to come up with some sort of solution where possibly we say we give the big companies tax breaks, to give their staff private healthcare, things like that. We've got to change the NHS. How it is not fit for purpose. So if we've cut 10 million of the population, we don't need to build on greenbelt land, because we don't need that many more houses. Yes, we'll need some houses, but 100,000 a year is not a target that can be achieved. And this government saying they can build 100,000 houses. Well, actually, they're saying they can build 300,000 houses a year. It's not going to happen. It's pie in the sky. So I feel sorry for all the rioters. Yeah, they did wrong. They did some terrible things. But the guy that died in prison, that should be on Starmer's conscience. Because what the rioters were, well, the protesters were protesting about was how many more children have to die from terrorists in this country. When are we going to get a grip? When are we going to talk about Islam? Sooner or later, someone's got to say, right, these people have a terrorist ideology. They haven't lived in the countries that the ideology comes from, like Iran, Afghanistan, stuff like that. The British nationals. I say, like, basically, if you do a terrorist crime in this country, you should automatically lose your British nationality. We can't carry on condoning what the Muslim faith is purporting. Why do we lock up people that are promoting British values, like Tommy Robinson, and basically his life's in danger in prison from these Muslim gangs? I say, like, all these terrorists and Muslims, rather than being strong in jails and stuff, let's ship them off to a remote island, and, like, say, Falklands or somewhere. Build them a special prison there. See how they like that? We're too good to these people. And they hate us. They hate you. They hate me. They hate all white indigenous people. Well, there's quite a bit of us to think about for this week. I hope it's pricked your mind and caused some thoughts. So I'll sign off for now. Cheers. Give us a like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.